As you can see, the Shadowcats are continuing to work on their improvements leading up to opening day.
Improvements continue at Veterans Field, including at the beer garden with new and improved interior siding, as well as concrete walkways from the bleacher area to the beer garden. Additional concrete walkways are being poured from the entrance to the seats behind home plate and also leading out to the newly constructed tiki bar down the right field line. If you remember last year, this was just a dirt area with some picnic tables down by the visitors' bullpen that now has a wooden deck and concrete steps. This area will also feature some gazebos for some much needed shade. The suites in the outfield area also have seen improvements. Instead of dirt, they now have turf around all the boxes. The interior has upgraded furniture and amenities, and a newly installed flower garden.
With the upcoming season just a few weeks away, we had a chance to chat with some of the fans from last season. Here's what they had to say.
My name is Ron Rowe. My son and I have season tickets for the first inaugural season, and we've renewed for this year. We've had a great time coming out to the ballpark. There's just nothing like live baseball, being there on the field, being at the games.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Ojeda. I probably came to about 10 or so games. During the summer, this is absolutely the place to be. If you're a local, if you're from out of town, out of state, whatever, this is absolutely the place to be during the summer. My mom and my stepdad would all come to the games and we would sit and watch the fireworks. So there's nothing that brings a community together like local sports. I grew up watching baseball. I watched the Texas Rangers we had season tickets at the old Arlington Stadium. And so I remember getting to know those players and getting to watch the team and getting to see these guys develop. You know, and the same with this. It's fun to see these guys out here on the field playing, you know, whether they just whether they just graduated high school or if they aged out of the minors, if they're still not really sure what they want to do. So, you know, it's fun watching these guys come out here, play, have a great time. We're having a great time watching them, you know, and then they go on to do big things on the professional level. But this season is going to be awesome. Last year was awesome. This season is going to be even better. I hope everyone gets a chance to come out to these games because they are absolutely, truly a great time. It's like you're already here in this beautiful park with people that you know, and the baseball game is just the icing on the cake.
And as much as I love our Texas Rangers, it's an hour and a half to get down there and traffic and $40 to park. And this experience here in Sherman is just absolutely incredible for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time to just come out and enjoy a night at the ballpark. Love it. There were some amazing games last year. The run to the playoffs was just so extraordinary. With about 2 weeks left in the season, it looked like we were out of the running, and they just kept winning and drove to the playoffs, and it was an exciting time to be a Shadowcats fan last year. Well, I think we bought just about everything there was to buy last year. We have the black and the white jerseys, black and white hats, multiple styles, the shade bobblehead, the mini bat. We bought just about everything there was to be had. We're looking forward to seeing the new designs for this year. We bought season tickets right off. We knew that this was going to be something that we wanted to do. It's my son and I come to the games together, and it's just an incredible time to just be out and be a family and enjoy the games together. Yes, we did. It's a small community here of season ticket holders right behind home plate. So we got to know some of the other guys and had a good time visiting with them every night. We decided to go with the same seats. You can't beat this spot right behind home plate we're right in the action, love it here, so we wanted to stick with these seats. Yeah, I think so. I like the tiki bar idea out in the right field. Last year we would sometimes we'd sit at the tables out there, but I think they've really upgraded it this year with the deck and the walkway to get out there and the tiki bar. I think we're gonna probably spend more time out there at the games this year. We enjoyed it every game. We had such a good time coming out here. The convenience of being right here in Sherman, the sense of community that this is our team, that we all kind of have our ownership stake in this, and the fan base here has been terrific, and I hope to see more people out this season.
Tuesday, May 20th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which is noon Central Time. Mark your calendars, set your alarms, and get ready to cheer because the Grayson Lady Vikings are storming into the NJCAA Division I World Series as the number 4 seed. It's been a season to remember. 8, count them, 8 school records broken. The top batting average in the nation, the Offensive Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, and leading the charge, the Coach of the Year. This team hasn't just played well, they've rewritten the history books. But softball at Grayson isn't just about stats and standings. It's about sacrifice. It's about structure. It's about sisterhood. These young women have poured heart and hustle into every inning, balancing early morning practices with late night study sessions. For them, the game has become more than a sport. It's a life-shaping force, building confidence, character, and lifelong connections.
So I was at my first softball tournament when I was 2 weeks old. My sister played softball and baseball growing up, and my mom was tired of sitting at the house, so she got me and we were sitting there. So from 2 weeks old till now, I've been at a softball field. My whole family's softball, baseball, so I've just like grown up in that. When I was little, I didn't want to be like my sister, and I was like, no, I'm not going to play softball, I'm going to be a basketball player. And then my dad signed me up for a little league in our area, and I fell in love with it. And just like softball's given me so much. It's given me the opportunity to learn how to be a teammate. It's taught me how to be a leader. It's taught me how to communicate well. It's like set me up for life, like beyond softball. Like softball is a game of failure. You hear that a lot, and it teaches you how to face adversity. So I think that's amazing. Like I could step away from the softball field and feel like I'm prepared for the rest of my life because of the lessons that it's taught me. I think some of my best memories are just with my teammates. I have a very short softball memory. I couldn't tell you the plays that I made today at practice, but I can tell you the impact that my teammates have had on me. Like I would not train anything in the world for my teammates and the relationships that softball has given me. Like these girls are going to be in my wedding one day, and it's just beautiful. And it's also given me my education, which is amazing. Grayson especially, I've been able to come here and I'm debt free, which is amazing. Getting to, after college, get to set my life up without debt, which is amazing, and to get an education. And Grayson especially has just amazing teachers and staff and everything. Everybody really buys into you, so I'm really grateful for that. Just like, this is a great step for my softball journey, but as well as my academic journey. Grayson has just been a really big blessing.
I actually started when I was 6. I originally did not want to play softball. I wanted to be like a cheerleader or something. But like I saw a pink team in a park one time, and my favorite color was pink. So I just had to try. I had a pink glove, pink bat, pink uniform. I was living the dream. Just growing up, I played softball since I was 6. So what, 14 years now? All my sisters have played softball. I've been at the ballpark for 14 years now. Softball has given me like great connections, good friendships. I've always played with my cousin. Actually, my freshman year was the first time I hadn't played on the team without her. So that was actually a big change. It was a hard change because I've always had family on the team. But I realized like just because we're blood doesn't mean I won't have family family without there being blood. Because all these girls I consider them my family. They're all like literally my best friends. I know if I mess up, somebody's gonna pick me up because I just have great teammates. Yes, I still keep in contact from most of my teammates from my senior year of high school. We all still follow each other on social media. We all still text each other. When we're all in town, most of the time we'll all go hit together. So those relationships like have really impacted my life because those are friends I will have later in life too. I'm just excited to go out to Yuma and compete and have a great time with my teammates this one last time.
So I started playing softball. I played t-ball, and I was the only girl on a team full of boys. So that's how it got started. But ever since then, I mean, I've just really enjoyed getting out there. I mean, grown relationships with my dad, relationships with so many people, so many great people that I'll know for the rest of my life. And most importantly to me, my relationship with God has grown through the sport. I mean, He's just blessed me with records that I didn't think I had. You know, just my relationship with God and the people around me are my biggest blessings from the sport. So, well, obviously it would be tough to go to school if I wasn't playing softball. I mean, I'd have to pay for it. I don't really qualify for anything, so softball thankfully is paying for my school. And it's really just, like I said, the same thing, like just building relationships, and softball helps you to build relationships with your teachers and gets you just a good community. And yeah, you learn a lot of skills in softball that help you in every area of life. So I do recommend it. Yes, definitely. I just think that softball, I mean, any sport is just really good for anybody. Like if you are in high school, you just need to try everything because you never know when something's going to stick and it's going to bless you immensely. So try everything.
I've been playing softball since 3rd grade, and all that I've gotten out of softball definitely weighs out all the negatives that it can bring, I would say. The teammates that they're your lifelong friends, and the experiences that it brings is also memories that you can't just get on a daily basis. And also we are all doing this for our education, so I would say that it brings a different aspect to that too. I feel the life lessons that it brings that no matter what you're gonna have to do in life, it's always gonna be done through hard work. So I feel it just gets you ready for the life after college. I think I was about 3 or 4 when I first started playing softball, so it's been my entire life so far. Softball-wise, the positive experiences, yeah, they go with the big wins. Going to the World Series my freshman year here, that was obviously a big win. We went to Alabama, but sometimes it's not even the big wins or the big accomplishments we have. It's the having fun during practice, or just we all live together in dorms. Those times outside of the field are usually some of the most fun times and memorable ones. Grayson has allowed me to have these friendships for the rest of my life. I think it has positively impacted my academic success a lot because we have to keep our grades in check in order to be played, to be eligible, everything like that. But also, I'm not 100% sure if I would even be getting a college education if it wasn't for softball, whether it was financially or just I didn't know if it was the right route for me. So softball allowed me to be able to get the college education and explore other career options.
It's taught me a lot about who I am as a person, and it teaches me a lot of things that I apply to my real life, like responsibility, time management, just everything I really apply to real life, and it's accomplished so much for me growing up.
How long have you played?
I've been playing since T-ball, so since 3 or 4. Definitely the environment and the adrenaline that goes through my body whenever we get in a tough spot, or just whenever we're having fun with everyone. It's just so much fun all around, and I love playing the sport. My education is so important to me, and I know I need softball to continue with my education, and that really motivates me to do everything I need to do. It's such a euphoric feeling coming to World Series as a freshman. I mean, I'm so blessed to have all these people around me, to have the team that I have, and it's just so exciting, no feeling like it.
We'll be watching the World Series, not just to see if they can win it all, but to celebrate everything they've already won just by being here.
I'm Berlin Yates, and you're watching Spittin Seeds.
Monty Stratton was a very good pitcher. He was an all-star. He was an all-star pitcher in the White Sox organization. And then he had a hunting accident. He lived in Greenville. He had a hunting accident one day out rabbit hunting, and he tripped, and somehow he shot his right leg with a shotgun, and it did significant damage, so much that the next day they had to amputate his right leg. And then he ended up making a comeback, pitching with a what was probably mainly just a peg leg back then, with the lack of technology that we have with prosthetics these days. And anyway, so he made a comeback, and he pitched for several years after that in various leagues in Texas and around the country. Things, but yes, the picture came first, and then when I had the picture, started doing. I went to eBay, typed in Monty Stratton, and I saw his autograph on there at an affordable price. But then I saw this, and this is the picture and this are definitely two of the really unique items here for sure. Finding the old, panoramic photo like this. I don't know if it's called panoramic, but the long photo, the landscape photo there, horizontal photo maybe. But this is definitely the crown jewel of the three pieces here. I would think the fact that it is a scored scorecard from a baseball game in 1946 here in Grayson County. So, and over the years became a collector. And a few years ago, somebody gave us this picture right here. We have a pretty good collection of memorabilia, and somebody thought, man, this is not getting seen in my closet at my house, so why don't I give it to you and let you display it? And from there, I noticed Monty Stratton was in the picture. I knew that name. I did a little research on him, picked up an autograph piece. I was going to work on putting all this in a nice frame piece, like many of the other pieces that we have in our collection. So I picked up an autograph of his. And then I found this, which is particularly unique. This is a game program from 1946 when they played Texarkana. And Monty Stratton actually pitched in this game. They actually, this is actually a used scorecard where somebody actually scored the game. So you can see right here where Monty Stratton came in and pitched. Looks like he probably started the game. He was the starting pitcher. And then you can see where a guy named Snyder said arm, assuming that was either right-handed or reliever, came in to pitch for Monty Stratton there. So, but anyway, really neat old scorecard here for sure. It's always neat to find one in such pristine condition. This is incredible condition for something that is from 1946 for sure. So I'm very sentimental. I'm a very sentimental guy. And so when I saw this, living in the area, we do life in Sherman. We go to church in Sherman. We shop in Sherman. We eat, buy gas. We do most of our things in Sherman. So when I saw this stuff, I was like, man, this is really cool. This is where we do life. So I thought, man, this would be really neat. I have a Roy McMillan collection. I'm probably one of the only people in the world that collects Roy McMillan. He's a famous baseball player from Fannin County. But this area has produced a lot of big-time baseball players over the years. Fannin County, Grayson County in this region, and a lot of the original spring trainings were in East Texas, as a matter of fact, back in the 20s and 30s. So baseball, so Texas in general has a very rich history of baseball history for sure. So, and but this was neat, just living in the area, living in Grayson County, and I saw Perrin Field on there. I'd love to find out a little history on Perrin Field, if that was a baseball field out at the Air Force Base. That'd be really neat to find that out with a little digging for sure.
Monty Stratton's story is one of grit, heartbreak, and baseball immortality. Born May 21st, 1912, Stratton was raised in the Lone Star State and called Greenville, Texas home for much of his life. Standing 6'5" and throwing right-handed, he began his professional baseball journey with the Van Alstyne Grays before breaking into the major leagues with the Chicago White Sox. From 1934 to 1938, Stratton built a promising big league career. Over 5 seasons with the White Sox, he posted a 36-23 record with 196 strikeouts and a respectable 3.71 ERA in over 487 innings pitched. He wasn't just a presence on the mound. Stratton could swing the bat too. Hitting .224 with 4 homers and 24 RBIs in 1937, he truly shined. 15 wins, a .240 ERA, 5 strikeouts, and a ticket to the All-Star game. He followed that with another 15-win season in 1938, completing 17 of his 22 starts. But everything changed on November 27, 1938. While rabbit hunting on his family farm, Stratton slipped and accidentally discharged his shotgun. The blast tore through his right leg, damaging a major artery. Doctors were forced to amputate the leg the next day, ending his major league career at just 26 years old. Yet Monty Stratton's story didn't end in a hospital bed. Fitted with a wooden prosthetic leg, he refused to leave the game he loved. The White Sox kept him on as a coach and batting practice pitcher for 2 years. In 1939, they hosted a charity game to support him at Comiskey Park against the Cubs that raised $28,000, over $600,000 in today's money. Stratton even took the mound that day, proving to fans and teammates alike that he hadn't lost his fire. Unable to serve in World War II due to his injury, Stratton remained active in baseball, organizing a semi-pro team in Greenville, Texas, and tirelessly working on his mechanics. He practiced with his wife Ethel, throwing to her and off the side of a barn, learning to pitch all over again with just one leg. In 1946, at the age of 34, Monty Stratton mounted a miraculous comeback with the Sherman Twins of the Class C East Texas League. He went 18-8 that season with a .417 ERA, a fantastic achievement for any pitcher, let alone one pitching on a prosthetic leg. The following year, he suited up for the Waco Dons of the Big State League, going 7-7, though opposing hitters frequently tested him with bunts that he struggled to field. Stratton continued to pitch sporadically in the minors, appearing briefly in 1949, 1950, and 1953, and in doing so became a symbol of resilience. His remarkable story was immortalized in the 1949 Hollywood film The Stratton Story, with Jimmy Stewart portraying the determined Texan.
Hello. I'm glad to see you. I'd like to talk to you briefly about a friend of mine, Jimmy Stewart, and about our favorite picture, The Stratton Story. Oh, I suppose it was especially interesting because our story is true. The events shown actually happened. Now let's see a fastball. Oh, come on, put it right in here, right over the plate.
Okay.
Right in here.
Gee, honey, I'm sorry. You hurt?
No, I'm all right. But you've just lost yourself a catcher.
Never had a catcher quit me before.
You never had a catcher before who was going to have a baby. Marriage to a baseball player was an exhilarating thing for me. Monty was a huge success in the big league. He was at the very top. Then one day it happened. A sudden stroke of misfortune that cast a shadow over our lives. Yes, we overcame it. How? Well, that's part of the Stratton story you'll want to see for yourself.
I sure got me some gal.
Shucks, didn't you know that? I sure got me some fella.
Shucks, didn't you know that?
Monty Stratton passed away in 1982, but his legacy lives on, not just in baseball lore, but here in Sherman, Texas, where fans still remember the summer of '46, when the man with one leg and an iron will took the mound for the hometown Sherman Twins, and he reminded us all what it means to fight for the game you love.
I'm here at Home Run Ranch in Bells, Texas, and I had a chance to sit down with Stephen Newton, who built this incredible facility. And I had a chance to hear from him why Home Run Ranch was brought into existence.
Yeah, so you're at Home Run Ranch in Bells, Texas. And Home Run Ranch is our home. It's where we live. But 7.5 years ago, my wife had this, she said, hey, I think I'm supposed to start a high school Bible study in our living room. And I was like, sure, go for it. Small town, be a few kids. Last few months, that'd probably be it. And we had 11 students from Bells, 1 student from Whitewright the first week. So I had 12 students in our living room. My wife was thrilled. She thought that would be the max capacity of this thing. And then it went 19, 22, 25, and within 6 months, we had 71 kids in our living room. And now fast forward 7.5 years later, as COVID hit, we needed a different place. So we built this building to start meeting in instead of our living room. And then studies show that if kids don't have something to do, they end up doing wrong things. So we thought, hey, we could build a wiffle ball field. We could build basketball courts. So that's what we did. We were just going to build a simple wiffle ball field. My son, like a lot of kids, grew up playing in our neighborhood backyard. And so we bought 33 acres out in the country. He was like, hey, Dad, we can have a bigger wiffle ball field. And there was a real nice flat piece of grass right over here. So that's where we're going to put we're just going to play wiffle ball field in open grass, really. And one thing led to another. Next thing you know, we start dreaming and designing, and we came up with what is now known as the premier wiffle ball field in the country. So it's obviously a replica of Fenway Park. Kind of 2 reasons. My favorite American League team growing up was the Red Sox. And then right behind there, some ugly pipeline land and city water tanks and city sheds and things like that. And it's real ugly and unsightly. So what better way to hide that than put the green monster from Boston over there? So it worked out great. Yeah, so our student ministry, by and large, probably 90% self-funded. And but over the last few years, we've opened up the opportunity for people to pitch in. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And we have found that this movement, this mission, I mean, we have between 130 and 150 high school kids here every week from 20 plus high schools all over North Texas and Southern Oklahoma. But we came up with the idea of if people wanted to make a donation, they could have their logo put out on the wall on a wiffle ball over here. And so they do that. We have people that do that every year. Some renew every year. Other people, other companies want to jump in and things like that. Top Notch Electrician, they're a great friend of our student ministry out here. They're about to have a real big spot on the wall over there right at the scoreboard. So we're excited for those guys. They're helping us add much needed lighting to the field. We have 1 light pole here with lights. We're about to add another pole here with lights on the field, and then 1 in center field behind the McCraw propane logo. So we're going to have fully triangulated lights out here, which is going to really help us with nighttime events and giving kids a space to come to even later at night, so it keeps them out of trouble. That's a big part of why we built all this is, hey, this is a good, safe, fun place for you to come out and hang out with your friends and not get in trouble, right? So, yeah, so a guy in Vermont named Pat O'Connor, he built what is called Little Fenway Park, and it's in Vermont. And when we saw his, we thought, man, we could build that same one here. I reached out to him, and we got on the phone, and he just loved he loved our mission, what we were trying to do here with the kids in the community. And he had said, man, my biggest problem up here in Vermont is the weather. He said, our fence is all wood, so it's constantly rotting. It constantly needs to be repainted, things like that. And then he said, I'm just a maintenance guy. I'm having to take care of grass all year long. So he goes, if you're coming up with the money yourself, he goes, save enough money to do the fence and metal and save enough money to do turf. That way you're not having to be a lawn care guy all the time, and you're not having to patch rotting wood all day long. So we saved up enough money to do it right, as he would say, and to do it with the turf and do it with the metal, so it's not a constant source of maintenance and costs and upkeep for us. Yeah, it costs us more up front, but it's cost us less overall not having to do that. No, you can tell there's a little rust on there, and quite frankly, we're really torn right now on getting it repainted versus leaving it alone and make it looks old and antiquated. So when the bid comes back, I might even love the antiquated more after we get the bid, right? So, but no, right now we've decided just kind of leave it the way it is. That is Green Monster Green, which is a paint that Benjamin Moore makes just for Fenway Park in Boston. It's called Green Monster Green. And then the yellow, real creative name, it's called Foul Pole Yellow. That's the real creative name they came up with that. So, but Benjamin Moore is the official paint supplier for Fenway Park in Boston and also here at Home Run Ranch in Bells. Yes. That's how it's changed our life. I mean, just the ministry, you know, changes our life. It challenges us to, you know, live the right way and pour into the kids and teach them right from wrong. And people always ask, what religion are y'all, or what church do y'all go to? And, you know, what are y'all going to be teaching the kids? And I'm like, well, we're not like powering through Habakkuk out of the Old Testament, or we're not doing that. We're like, we teach them about life. We teach them through the mistakes we've made, or some of the mistakes we almost made, you know, because we hang out with the wrong people, or we do this or do that. And so we teach them, we teach them about life, and then we point that back to Scripture, what the Scripture says about different situations. But it's not all fun and games out here. They don't ever come out here. No matter if they come out for any kind of event, they're gonna hear a little bit about life. They're gonna hear about the Word a little bit, and but we don't shy away from the tough topics. We don't. If there's a high-profile teenage suicide in the area, we're gonna address suicide and talk about that and try to get people help. And if there's a drug overdose, or if there's, you know, a teenager getting pregnant or something like that, we hit the tough topics. We do, you know.
Now that we've heard about all the awesome projects and stories from Home Run Ranch, it's time to give it a shot ourselves. Let's go.
Heard that before. Yep. Uh-oh. Yep. Yeah. No, just if it hits it in the air. If it hits it in the air, we yell weight room. Can of corn. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, look at this. That's better than the Today Show, that's for sure. Priscilla hearing it. My goodness. Man, she's got some hand-eye coordination. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? That's the dream home run, hitting the foul pole. Unbelievable. Oh my word! That was a bomb. That was a bomb.
It's time to gear up, get your tickets, and get your merchandise. The Shadowcats season kicks off this Thursday with a road trip to the Piney Woods of East Texas. But don't worry, they'll be back home at Veterans Field the following Friday, May the 30th. Check out the schedule at shadowcatsbaseball.com.